Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the Blind Press YouTube channel, and welcome back to, of course, another Sunday night edition of The Blind and the Special. I am the Blind, and the Special is unfortunately still trying to put the oldest child to sleep. So he may or may not join us. All the buzzing you're hearing is Pincalo sending me all of the stories in case he does not make it. So we hope that Pincalo will join us at some point. Um, However, he may either fall asleep with the boy, or the boy just may be fighting sleep that much. So, with that in mind, let us take a look at who is here. And also, welcome to all the new subs. Um, And thank you very much to Martin H for the pledge, the Patreon pledge. That was very generous of you. Thank you so much, my dude. Rolling Bear says, "Greetings, hello, Rolling Bear." Gunfox says, "Howdy, lots of news." In the Discord, maybe enough for 3 shows. Good, gonna need it. Um, the more you fight it, the quicker it happens, says Duck Dog. Yep, it's so true. And I hope you guys bear with me tonight. I am still in ridiculous amounts of pain. We didn't end up going to the cottage yesterday because I was in too much pain. So, yeah. I do have a crap ton of news, however, in my Twitter DMs that Pincalo just sent me. So, I will open that. Oh, I hear walking. Uh-oh. I also hear little feet. Never mind. Never mind. All right. Let's see here. I would share my screen, but that would kick me out of the stupid Hangout. Let's see here. So let's see what the first story here says. Elon Musk's flamethrower incenses New York lawmakers. What? Okay. I didn't know Elon Musk actually made a flamethrower. Cottage, any other time it would be called a shack. Oh yeah, it totally is a shack. It's a tar paper shack. Hello, Zombie Teddy. Good evening. I just dropped a ton of news in your Discord. Awesome. I will be using that tomorrow and Tuesday. I'm sure some of that news will come in handy when Cog shows up tomorrow. Oh, yes, we are redoing the guest day tomorrow with Cognitive Thought. He will be here tomorrow at noon p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 5 GMT. So, yes. Let's see here. Where is this story starting here? I still can't get over this it says, so the full headline is Elon Musk's flamethrower incenses New York lawmakers, state Senate passes bill banning the weapon. Oh my. Okay. Let's see here. All right, here we go. Here we go.
The New York State Senate passed a bill earlier this month that would make the possession of a flamethrower for recreational activities a felony, with an eye toward outlawing the one made by Link, Elon Musk's Boring Company. Musk's company sold all 20,000 units of its $500 flamethrowers. Link, in less than a week last year.
In less than a week. Wow.
Drawing the ire of lawmakers in New York and elsewhere. Elon Musk's Boring Company released a new flamethrower which sold out of all 20,000 within days, without any concern to the training of the purchasers or their reasons for buying. Allowing the general public to access this type of machine is extremely problematic, New York lawmakers said in justifying the legislation. These dangerous devices should not be sold to civilians, and use needs to be restricted to trained professionals.
Problematic. It's very problematic. Very, very problematic. Yours has tar paper? Fancy schmancy. Oh, yeah. Are we going to do the Four Old Men Monty Python skit? Well, at least you had a shoebox. Oh, my goodness. Okay, let's see.
CEO Musk, who also runs electric car company Link, Tesla, said the Boring Company renamed it not a flamethrower to avoid regulatory rules that prohibit the transport of anything called a flamethrower.
Not a flamethrower? How very original.
Host, the Boring Company did not respond to requests for comment. The bill would make possessing a flamethrower a Class E felony, which carries a said the Boring Company renamed it not a Link. Test said the Link. Maximum sentence of 4 years in prison.
I love how voiceover pronounced Class E felony as classy felony. Hello, Costin. Yeah, it totally said classy felony instead of Class E felony. There's a big difference there, voiceover.
Period. Sponsored by Democrat. It was first introduced last year after the NASA sponsored by Democratic state sens John Brooks and David Carlucci. The bill passed the Senate 4813 on June 11th. It defines a flamethrower as a device capable of projecting burning fuel a distance of at least 3 feet. The bill hasn't come up for a vote in the assembly yet.
Wouldn't that also count as like a firework? I'm pretty sure a firework could be classified under that. A classy felony, is that like embezzlement? Maybe. Let's see. Any Joe Schmuck can Google how to make a flamethrower, and 80% of them will work. The other 20%, well, if they do not blow up, let's just say that it would. Wait, let's just say that it would be due to drunk reasons. Oh, if they did not blow up as a bonus, but most likely is for drunk reasons. Yes, that's very true, Gunfox. Let's see here.
It was first introduced last year after the Nassau County Fire Commission reached out to Brooks, said Michael Reed, Brooks' chief of staff. Reed said that not a flamethrower was also concerning to emergency medical personnel. They were concerned that people were essentially having something that looks like a toy, is being billed as something fun to use, and there was all different stuff coming up on social media showing people really using the device as intended, which is to have fun, Reed said. Unfortunately, firing out a burst of flame for a number of feet can have some really horrific, unintended consequences.
Well, yeah, but isn't that the choice of the people? Like, I'm pretty sure children aren't buying them. You haven't said anything about children. So I don't see where, like, if adults are going to be stupid, then adults are going to be stupid. And if they set fire to things, then charge them for vandalism. I don't know what to tell you.
In the terms and conditions customers had to agree to before purchasing, Boring included a poem that read, Host _I Quinn Whitehead, owner of Throw Flame in Cleveland, Ohio, said his company has
Where's the poem?
host in out of _I frame 0 frame 105,200
Where's the
no
poem?
visible
Oh, it's a picture.
out of amp.
It's a screenshot of the poem. Damn it. Boo! I can't read the poem to you guys. It's a fucking screenshot. If you're going to set fire to anything, set fire to the rains. Just check your logic. Let's see. I do own a flamethrower, and I use it to alight the unusable mountain of hay and straw. There you go. I forgot about this. Just check your logic. No worries. English, do you speak it? No, I do not, apparently.
Quinn Whitehead, owner of Throw Flame in Cleveland, Ohio, said his company has seen sales to New York basically quadruple since people started hearing about the bill. He also said he doesn't think the bill, as written, would actually apply to the Boring flamethrower.
No, especially if they renamed it not a flamethrower.
It's just funny to me that the justification of this bill has revolved around Elon Musk's flamethrower, which isn't actually a real flamethrower, Whitehead said. It's just a roofing torch in an airsoft gun shell.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. So it's really not a flamethrower. Hello, Brad Young. It's really not a flamethrower. It's just a tiny little dinky thing. That's not a flamethrower.
Reed, however, said the bill was specifically designed to include the Boring flamethrower. Whitehead said roughly 40% of the flamethrowers his company sells are purely for entertainment use, while others are bought by people using them as a tool, such as for agriculture. Throw Flame advertises products that can shoot burning fuel over 100 feet. You are currently on it.
Oh, look, agriculture. Isn't that what you mentioned, Gunfox? Imagine that.
Brooks said, considering flamethrowers to be a choice for recreational use is a bit of a head-scratcher. This bill will protect kids, families, and neighbors from irresponsible and dangerous play. Weapons of war do not belong in our backyards.
But you guys just said it could also be used as a tool. So is it a weapon of war or is it a tool? Which one? I am very confused now. That's very inconsistent. I don't like inconsistency. I don't like it at all.
The bill would not apply to flamethrowers with at least 5 major components built before 1966, flamethrowers used for agriculture or construction, or those purchased and possessed before the bill would take effect. Reed said the historical carve-out was for people who wanted to display or use flamethrowers in war reenactments. Your current
Okay, but how do you tell the difference between those people and people wanting to buy it for a toy? What's stopping people from buying it for a toy to lie and say, oh, yeah, it's for agriculture or historical reenactments or, what have you? What is to stop someone who wants it for entertainment in doing that?
The Boring Company's main focus is building new underground transportation systems in cities. In addition to flamethrowers and fire extinguishers, the company's website says Boring sold 50,000 hats featuring the corporate logo. You are currently host DC_link. View the full mobile link image.
Well, that's
CNBC.
the end of that story. I almost said that's the end of that song. Holy shit. Okay. Well then. Let's see. What's the next item that we have here? They use something similar to remove hair from cows' udders. Oh. Elon Musk's so-called flamethrower is basically a oversized blowtorch with wait, an oversized blowtorch. Oh, I thought there was more to that sentence. I apologize. Sorry. I kind of ate an edible before I started streaming because I was in that much pain. So I do apologize for my ridiculous ridiculous stumbling. um I've I've basically pulled the um cannabis equivalent of what monkey does. Um so let's find the next story here. 15-year-old student protester gets bill for $1,444 for cleanup of sidewalk chalk. Oh dear, I wonder what the slogans were. What the hell did I break? I didn't break anything. Everything's still going fine. Edible, no problem, BP. Just relax and enjoy. Yeah. I didn't break anything. It's my back, dude. That's what it is. That's all it is, dude. It's my damn back. All right, let's read about this sidewalk chalk slogan. So we have the subheading is high school and elementary students gathered at Queen's Park in early May to protest the Ford government's cuts to education. They discussed, or they, uh, God damn it. They, they expressed their displeasure in writing, some of it profane. The legislator made them pay for it immediately. I should hope so. You can't write profane shit in the Queens Park sidewalks. All right, let's read this story here.
Amin Events, 18, helped organize a demonstration of high school and elementary students at Queen's Park in May to protest before government cuts to education. Some of the students drew messages of protest in sidewalk chalk, including profane messages.
And I would like to say that these protests happened during school hours, but they're totally not being influenced by their teachers, y'all. This is totally something that they're doing on their own. Oh, this pisses me off.
In early May, called by the Ford government's cuts to education, a group of high school and elementary students gathered at Queen's Park. The young demonstrators, who ranged in age from 10 to 18, drew messages of protest with sidewalk chalk.
10 to 18. So Queen's Park is it would be like the state legislature for you guys. It's our provincial, for Ontario anyway, it's our provincial parliament. So these these kids who, totally aren't being influenced by their teachers in any way at all, of course, leave school, somehow get to Toronto by themselves because, they're totally not influenced by their teachers. And um they start protesting outside of Queen's Park. Now, I understand that teachers also had to go with them because they were doing this during school time, and the schools are technically legally responsible for the kids. But at the same time, You know what you do if you're a hardline principal? This takes balls, but it's legally a valid option. You tell the students there will be no chaperones for this protest. It is an unauthorized protest. Anyone who goes will be reported as truant. And if there's a whole bunch of people that go, you call the actual city police and you say, I have a whole bunch of truant students. Oh, wait, but you're not going to do that because it's in your interest that these students are protesting. That's right. Ahaha.
Later that month, one of the protest organizers, a 15-year-old, got a letter in the mail. It was an invoice from the Legislative Assembly of Ontario for cleaning up defacement/vandalism at the event.
Well, if she was one of the people that was defacing or vandalizing the property, then I should hope that she got a letter.
The bill was for $1,444.51.
So $1,444.51.
FSK_frame. Link. From our perspective. Link period. Sidewalk chalk is something that you can blow on and it disappears. Sidewalk chalk is something that you can blow on and it disappears. It's literally colored dust on the ground.
I've never heard of being able to blow a sidewalk chalk drawing away. I mean, I'm blind, so I could be wrong. Hi, Sir Adamantine. I could be wrong because I'm blind and I can't tell if you can blow a sidewalk chalk drawing away, but that just doesn't seem right to me. Not sure I believe that.
Jackie Gordon, Sergeant-at-Arms of the Legislative Assembly of Ontario, said that the students' demonstration took place despite not receiving the requisite approval, although the organizers did meet with security staff in advance and signed a permit application.
So they signed a permit application, but they didn't get the actual permit. So teachers accompanied students to an unauthorized protest. That's just amazing. Wow, that is just brilliant.
At that meeting, the rules were explained, including that obscenity is not permitted, and that the group is responsible for cleanup at the end of the event, Gordon said. During this event, chalk was used by students who began writing on the roadway, walkways and statuary. Some of what was written was profane and inappropriate, said Gordon, who added that Queen's Park attracts many elementary school children every year.
You don't write on the statues. What the hell? Come on. What the hell is wrong with you? You don't write on the statues. And what chaperone is letting you write on the statues? It's not it's like the worst chaperoning I've ever seen.
Given the extent and nature of the writing, it needed to be erased immediately and a professional cleaning crew was brought in for this purpose. The cost of that cleaning crew was $1,444.51. You are currently third-party banner. Newsicon.
So one kid got the whole bill. Okay, that's not fair. I think they should get pressure wash it off while they're still using the chalk. I like that. They seriously could split it up. Well, there might be too many. And she might have been one of the main people that was at the meeting. But she has a cause to pursue legal action among her other organizers to help for reimbursement for paying the whole thing. That's certainly a thing she can do.
Heading level 2. End of band link.
And
June
that's
21st,
the end of that.
000.
Shut up. Shut up, voiceover, shut up. Okay, let's move along to the next story. Warmington, Danforth Keel. Danforth Keeler told Find a Life Prayer. What? I'm just gonna hit the link and read this headline properly. Where's the headline here? So that I can read it word for word. Come along, headline. Where are you? Okay. So Danforth Keeler told Find a Wife Prayer to Shooting Spree. What? That is literally the headline. I swear sometimes journalists just pick words out of hats and assign them to their headlines. Danforth Keeler, that's right, Danforth Keeler told Find a Wife Prayer to shoot before shooting spree. That's the headline. Oh, to shooting spree. He told Find a Wife Prayer to shooting spree. So I'm guessing that he vocally said a prayer to a shooting spree before he shot up the shooting spree. This is a very confusing headline. I don't like confusing headlines. This is very confusing. Okay, Safari, why have you frozen on me? It's very annoying of you.
Al-Hussein supplied the reason may be a mystery, but one fact that is undeniable is just an hour after being told to find a wife, Faisal Hussein shot 2 girls to death and wounded 13 others on the Danforth.
So the Danforth is in Toronto. It's like a street. Sober someone other than myself drank my rum. Ah.
Pause.
Waiting for the Tylenol to kick in. Oh, hi, Six. You're hurting too, huh?
Now, while Toronto police say they don't know the motive for the deadly shooting spree that unfolded around 10 p.m. on July 22, 2018, they do know that at 9 p.m. the 29-year-old was talking to his twin brother on the balcony of their parents' Thorncliffe Park Drive apartment. Play. Family reported having a conversation with Faisal Hussein about his future and that he should find a wife, Toronto police said in the report on the Danforth shooting released Friday.
So this asshole, I remember this shooting.
Pause.
This was a big deal, especially for, Canada. So this asshole got told that, you should really settle down, should find a wife, and his reaction was to go and shoot people? Really? I would suspect Jack Sparrow. Oh, for drinking Duck Dog's rum. Yes.
Toronto Police Chief Mark Saunders during a press conference with updates on their investigation into the Danforth shooting on Friday, June 21, 2019. Veronica.
Oh, that's a picture of the police chief. Sorry.
Saunders, Toronto. End of Toronto. The Sun has previously reported after Hussein said he was mentally retarded while smoking a cigarette, his brother urged him to get his life together, get married, and get some direction. Pause. Toronto police now say the family believe this conversation upset Faisal Hussein.
Really? So this is the family's thing? Oh, we think that his brother upset him by telling him helpful things like get your life together, get married. And his response again was to go and kill 2 people and injure 13 others. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. That's a totally reasonable reaction.
Just 60 minutes later, Juliana Casas, 10, and Reese Fallon, 18, were repeatedly shot, along with 13 others who survived. That list of others struck by Hussein's .40 caliber Smith & Wesson with 7 magazines and at least 10 bullets per clip were Danielle Kane, Juliana's father Donnie Casas, Fallon's friends, Samantha Price, Miranda Lee and Ollie Dembricon, a mother and son named Joanne and John, and a waiter named Nick. Pause.
Asshole. My brother told me something I needed to hear, and I didn't like it, so I'm gonna hurt a bunch of people and kill 2 whose lives have just started. 'Cause mine sucks, apparently, according to me.
Pause.
Fuck. Oh, wow, what a piece of shit.
Dimmed. Web content.
I'm sorry. Mental health stuff really sucks. It really does. Depression hurts a lot. But you gotta be stronger than that. You've got to. Otherwise, you're just gonna end up being like this and taking a whole bunch of people who don't deserve it with you. And that's not fair. That's not fair at all. You have got no right to do that. This is that's disgusting. Screw this dude. I have no sympathy for him. No sympathy at all. Let's see here. What's the next story? Hello, Seamus. Next story. Love and support prevail as thousands celebrate at Dyke March in Toronto. There were some protests, but they were largely ignored by the buoyant marchers who passed them by. Pride organizers estimated that it was the largest turnout in the march's history, although they didn't have accurate numbers yet. The Dyke March. Oh my. The Dyke March. I'm sorry, but even when I, oh wow. The Dyke March. That just, no.
The annual Dyke March makes its way down Yonge Street on a warm and sunny Saturday. There were some protests, but many came out to celebrate diversity. Richard Lawton's Toronto Star. Amid the beating of drums and revving of motorbikes on Church Saint Saturday afternoon, many of the people waiting for the Dyke March to begin expressed the same sentiment. I'm here to be surrounded by other queer people and support everyone in their diversity, said Brittany Scarrett, 25, who says she identifies as queer. Scarrett came in for Your Current Link. Toronto's Pride Weekend. I'm Link. Toronto's Pride Weekend. From Ottawa, close by was her twin sister, who lives in Hamilton.
Oh, I'm here to be surrounded by other queer people. Why do you need to be surrounded by other queer people? I don't need to go find I don't need to go seek out other women who identify as bisexual but who chose to be with a dude. That's just who I am. Why do you need to seek out thousands of people and celebrate something that you can't help? I don't get it. That would be like me going, I'm proud of being blind and I'm gonna celebrate my blindness by having a party. Why? That's something you can't help. Did you earn that? No. Well, did you do it on purpose? No. Is it something you strove for? No. Well, then what the fuck are you doing? I just don't get it.
I'm here to support her, said Janelle Scarrett. FSK_Pride. It was a theme that seemed to pervade this year's march. Which began with dykes on bikes, many of their motorcycles decorated with flags or feathers, leading the parade up Church Street and west on Bloor St. They were followed by participants on bicycles ringing their bells and thousands of people on foot.
Dykes on bikes. It's like the first. That's like you ever notice how on Pride Month or during Pride Week, you're allowed to say shit like that in the newspaper, dykes on bikes or fag hag or you're allowed to say that, but any other time of the year it has to be starred out. It's very fascinating to me.
Pride organizers estimated it was the largest turnout in the march's history, although they didn't have accurate numbers yet. Many participants were colorfully decked out in shades of the rainbow pride flag. Some were wearing animal costumes and had to take the heads off in the sweltering sun. There were couples with matching t-shirts that said "I'm right where I want to be" or "You're mine," with arrows pointing in each other's direction, if they happened to be standing together.
Yes, because only gay people feel that way about each other. That's did you guys know that? You can't possibly feel that way about your partner if you are heterosexual. That's not a thing that happens. Heterosexual people just tolerate each other. They're just like, ugh, you again.
Gina McKay, dressed as Sailor Moon, said she's been coming to the parade for a number of years because we should love everybody. Read more.
Do I have to read more?
Link, banner, news icon, heading level 2.
Oh, thank God it's over. Okay. Let's see here. Do. Odds and ends, giant penis plant, and what? And other offbeat offerings? Yep, that's exactly what I heard. Okay, this is gonna be a weird news thing. This is gonna be weird. Maybe I'm glad I'm not screen sharing after all. Okay, here we go.
Penis plant stands erect at Scottish Gardens. A plant known for its foul stench is standing erect at the Royal Botanic Gardens in Edinburgh, Scotland. You are currently
A penis plant that stinks, huh?
also known as the penis plant or corpse flower. The Amorphophallus titanium is in full bloom at the Botanic Gardens for a third time.
The Amorphophallus titanium? Oh, that is just the best name ever. And you know what? Could also be an amazing insult. You, sir, are an Amorphophallus titanium. I love it. Amorphophallus titanium.
While the odor that the flower produces supposedly smells like death, that hasn't stopped visitors from getting a glimpse at the tall plant. Play. Pause.
It smells like death, huh?
According to Blink, Edinburgh Live. The penis plant bloomed alongside two of its smaller cousins, nicknamed Weeriki and Weeriki 2. The Amorphophallus titanium first flowered in June 2015, attracting 19,000 visitors to the gardens at the time. Garden supervisor Louise Galloway told the news outlet that the plant is difficult to grow to the flowering stage because they usually take about 7 to 10 years to reach maturity. Play.
Oh, wow. That's a long time. Interesting.
Often after flowering and setting seed in the wild, the plant's energy is exhausted and it dies, she said. We have been very lucky to have a stable corm, which has produced a consistent flower every 2 years since maturing. Pause.
Cool.
The Amorphophallus titanium last bloomed in 2017.
Amorphophallus titanium.
Getty Images. Getty Image. End of Getty Ants infest United Airlines flight. Play.
Oh boy. This is the next story.
Snakes on a plane have nothing on ants in passengers' pants. A United Airlines flight from Venice to Newark had a load of extra stowaways, ants, on Monday.
Oh my, I hope they weren't fire ants.
Link. NBC New York reported that the insects reportedly spilled out from a bag in an overhead bin and began crawling around the cabin. They were currently on it.
See, this is why I don't ever want to fly. Fuck that.
A passenger aboard the flight, Charlotte Burns, noted on Link. Charlotte Burns, screen name, Charlie. Link. On the plane from Venice to New York when a large, fat ant walks over my pillow. That's odd. Play.
Gross.
Link. On the plane from Venice to New York when a large, fat ant walks over my pillow. That's odd, Burns tweeted. Minutes later, another fat little bug hurries over the television screen. Then there's another one, on my arm. These are bold. I start to feel itchy. Pause.
Yeah, no doubt.
The flight crew apparently tried to contain the insects. Other passengers spotted the creepy crawlies in the first-class section of the plane.
Oh dear. Oh, I'm sure the first-class passengers were just thrilled.
Play. United Airlines said the aircraft was taken out of service in Newark and thoroughly cleaned. The airline also noted the ants came from one passenger's bag located in an overhead bin. Newark Facebook/Justin Latin figure. Facebook end of Facebook spider. Possum battle at Aussie ski lodge turns deadly. Pause.
Wait. Okay, so this is the next story. Possum and spider battle in Aussie lodge. Fuck Australia. Seriously. Part of me wants to go there and then I read stuff
Play.
like this. And then I go, no, maybe not. Artificial sweeteners toxic to them.
It was battle to the death for a large huntsman spider and a pygmy possum at an Australian ski lodge recently. Pause.
God damn, a huntsman spider versus a pygmy possum. Whew. You know, that is something that I would have liked to have been witness to just for the creep factor.
Play. And not surprisingly, the arachnid won.
Yeah, no kidding.
A man was staying at a ski lodge in Tasmania, Australia, last week and stumbled upon a showdown between the spider and the baby possum. In a series of photos posted on Facebook, the huntsman spider can be seen clutching the pygmy possum, creeping out onlookers in the process. Pause. FB, possum eating spider, Latin link, Fox News. Possums are common in Mountfield, Australia. It was one of the biggest huntsman spiders he'd, husband Adam, ever seen, she said. And Tasmanian pygmy possums are the smallest of the pygmy possums, I believe. This one was about the size of a large walnut. This occurrence is very unusual, I'm told.
Oh. So that's a tiny little possum being just totally messed up by a huntsman spider. Wow.
Play. Pause.
That's nature for you, I guess.
Latin said huntsman spiders will sometimes capture small lizards or frogs, but mammals are not part of their usual diet.
Huh.
As a revenge ploy, a Taiwanese man reportedly pooped in an apartment's water tank. YouTube screen grab figure.
Wait, what?
Crappy neighbor JPG image. Play.
So this is the next story. As a revenge ploy,
Pause.
a Taiwanese man allegedly pooped in an apartment water tank.
As a revenge ploy, a Taiwanese man reportedly pooped in an apartment's water tank. YouTube screen grab.
And there's a picture from YouTube. Like a thumbnail. Possums are cute in Australia. They're not the giant angry rats we have.
Play.
I'm starting to get that image.
End of. As a revenge, this man was a crappy neighbor. It's likely we've all encountered that disruptive neighbor in our lives. You are currently on a tech. Normally, neighborly disputes are settled with a simple chat. One man in Taichung, Taiwan, dumped his own poop in an apartment water tank instead. Pause.
What an asshole.
Link. Asia 1. Link. Asia 1 reported a 69-year-old man simply known as Lin had leased part of his home to telecommunications companies to place their base stations there. However, the equipment was installed without the knowledge of his neighbors, who later petitioned to have them removed in 2017. Play.
So he pulled a Homer Simpson, basically, turned his house into a cell tower. The neighbors were not happy about that.
Pause.
And this guy's like 70 years old, so he knows better. And I'm guessing his response would be to dump his feces into an apartment water tank. Spiders are the genitalia crabs of the devil. What an image there, Zombie Teddy.
Agitated over the loss of income from the lease loss, Lynn decided to get even by contaminating their apartment building's water tank by allegedly peeing, pooping, and bathing in the liquid once a month. Play.
Oh, God. Dude, you're 69
Pause.
years old. You should know way better than to do that. That's just nasty.
Lynn's neighbors noticed the tap water tasted and smelled funny, with some residents developing allergies after drinking it.
Yeah, they're lucky they just developed allergies and not, E. coli
Play.
and dying.
Water test showed high levels of ammonia. CCTV footage showed Lynn climbing the ladder along the tank to allegedly do his dirty deeds. Lynn was caught and later went on trial. This past week, Lynn was sentenced to 20 months in jail and fined $6,800. York.
Wow. Well done, old man. Well done.
YouTube video 1.
There's a
More currently
video?
on it,
Oh,
comments.
God. No, we're not watching that.
Link. Heading level 3. Heading level 4.
And that's the end of that story. Yeah, we are not watching that video. Let's see. Let's see here. Next, ooh, a sciencey one. So, who dealt it? NASA rover on Mars detects puff of gas that hints at a capability of life? Oh, possibility of life. So scientists are now doing additional experiments on the detection of methane, which on Earth is typically produced by living organisms. That's pretty cool. Let's read about that. If I can get through all of these friggin' links. All right, there we go.
Mars, it appears, is belching a large amount of a gas that could be a sign of microbes living on the planet today. In a measurement taken Wednesday, NASA's Curiosity rover discovered startlingly high amounts of methane in the Martian air, a gas that on Earth is usually produced by living things. The data arrived back on Earth on Thursday, and by Friday, scientists working on the mission were excitedly discussing the news.
That's pretty cool. I don't doubt that they were excited.
Given this surprising result, we've reorganized the weekend to run a follow-up experiment, Ashwin Vasavada, the project scientist for the mission, wrote to the science team in an email that was obtained by the New York Times. Play.
Nice.
The mission's controllers on Earth sent new instructions to the rover Friday to follow up on the readings, bumping previously planned science work. The results of these observations were expected back on the ground on Monday.
Okay. So
Pause.
tomorrow they'll get they'll be expecting the data back. Oh, Phantom Madness says I couldn't sleep and saw this, so I stopped in to say hi. Oh, hello. Thank you for coming.
People have long been fascinated by the possibility of aliens on Mars, but NASA's Viking landers in the 1970s photographed a desolate landscape. 2 decades later, planetary scientists thought Mars might have been warmer, wetter, and more habitable in its youth some 4 billion years ago. Now, they are entertaining the notion that if life ever did arise on Mars, its microbial descendants could have migrated underground and persisted. Play. Methane, if it is there in the thin Martian air, is significant, because sunlight and chemical reactions would break up the molecules within a few centuries. Thus, any methane detected now must have been released recently. Pause.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Any methane detected now must have been released recently. Semicolon. Link. Link. It is also on Earth. Microbes known as methanogens thrive in places lacking oxygen, such as rocks deep underground in the digestive tracts of animals, and they release methane as a waste product. However, geothermal reactions devoid of biology can also generate methane. Play.
Okay. I did not know that. But if there's geothermal reactions going on, then that would mean Mars is also less dead than people thought, which is also cool. I've seen Red Planet. I know how this ends, says Duck Dog.
It is also possible that the methane is ancient, trapped inside Mars for millions of years but escaping intermittently through cracks. NASA acknowledged the methane detection in a statement Saturday but called it an early science result. Play.
Okay, so there's definitely more to come on this.
The agency's spokesperson added, to maintain scientific integrity, the project science team will continue to analyze the data before confirming results.
Okay.
Scientists first reported detections of methane on Mars a decade and a half ago using measurements from Mars Express, an orbiting spacecraft built by the European Space Agency and still in operation, as well as from telescopes on Earth. However, those findings were at the edge of the detection power of these tools, and many researchers thought the methane might just be a mirage of mistaken data. Pause.
Well, I guess it's not.
Play.
So either Mars is more geologically active than thought, or there are microbes. Both possibilities are pretty interesting.
Pause.
To be fair, methane usually slips through cracks. Yes, pun intended. Very nice.
When Curiosity arrived on Mars in 2012, it looked for methane and found nothing, or at least less than 1 part per billion in the atmosphere. Then, in 2013, it detected a sudden spike, up to 7 parts per billion that lasted at least a couple of months. The methane ebbed away. The measurement this past week found 21 parts per billion of methane, or 3 times the 2013 spike. You are currently...
Interesting. I wonder, it's still very small, but I wonder what is causing those spikes.
Play. Even before that discovery, the mystery of methane had been deepening. You are currently... See also.
So that's the end of that article. I wonder if there's any more. I don't know how many Pincalo sent me. Oh, there's still more.
It's Devon Island. Play. Curiosity scientists developed a technique that enabled the rover to detect even tinier amounts of methane with its existing tools. The gas seems to rise and fall with the red planet seasons. A new analysis of old Mars Express readings confirmed Curiosity's 2013 findings. One day after Curiosity reported a spike of methane, the orbiter, passing over Curiosity's location, also measured a spike. Pause. But the Trace Gas Orbiter, a new European spacecraft launched in 2016 with more sensitive instruments, did not detect any methane at all in its first batch of scientific observations last year.
Interesting. I wonder why it's so intermittent.
Marco Giurana, a scientist at the National Institute for Astrophysics in Italy, who leads the Mars Express orbiter's methane measurements, said scientists on the Curiosity, Mars Express and Trace Gas Orbiter missions had been discussing the latest findings. He confirmed he had been told of the reading of 21 parts per billion but added that the finding was preliminary. Pause. He said Mars Express passed over Gale Crater, the 96-mile-wide depression that Curiosity has been studying, on the same day that Curiosity made its measurements. There are other observations on earlier and subsequent dates, Giurana said, including joint observations with the Trace Gas Orbiter. Play. A lot of data to be processed, Giurana said in an email. I'll have some preliminary results by next week. You were current.
Yeah. So this is there's a lot of instruments to coordinate with. There's a lot of data to go through. But this is still pretty cool. At least I think so. Let's see. So let's see if there's another story here. Oh, there is. Awesome. Okay. Woman who turned over husband's guns to police after saying. Wait. Sorry. It's going too fast. Come here, headline. Come on. There we go. All right, we've got a video. Let me just. Oh. God damn it. I've got a fucking video going on in my head, in my headphones here. I can't make it shut the fuck up. Where's this video? I wanted to shut up so I can. Okay, finally. Okay. Holy crap, that was annoying.
A Florida woman who recently gave her husband's guns to local authorities for safekeeping after saying she feared for her life spent a longer time in jail for armed burglary than her husband did following a domestic violence arrest, according to multiple reports.
Oops. Whoops.
Link. The Miami Herald reports that 32-year-old Courtney Arby was arrested on charges of armed burglary and theft after she went to her estranged husband's home to retrieve 2 of his firearms, only to later hand them over to police.
Yeah, you can't do that, lady. That's not how that works.
According to an arrest affidavit seen by the paper, Arby told police that she decided to take the guns from her husband's house and turn them in because he would not. The incident reportedly comes after the arrest of Arby's husband, Joseph Arby, last week, according to Link, HuffPost. Arby's husband was arrested last Saturday following a court hearing involving the two, who are reportedly in the midst of a divorce.
Of course they are.
Frame. The publication reports that Arby's husband rammed his car into the back of his wife's vehicle after the hearing, citing police documents. Police said Arby called local authorities shortly after the incident, uncontrollably crying, and advised that she was in fear for her life. Police reportedly arrested Arby's husband on charges of aggravated battery after the incident. According to HuffPost, Arby had previously received protective orders against her husband.
So they're both being histrionic, ridiculous people, is what's going on. And she took her husband's guns when she shouldn't have. And then now she's being sent to jail for robbery or for burglary because she gave them to the police. So she gave stolen property to the police.
Arby's husband was reportedly released from police custody a day after his arrest. He was later reportedly ordered by a judge to turn over the firearms in his possession as a condition of his pretrial release. That's when Abby reportedly went to her husband's home to retrieve his firearms and hand them over to police because she said he wasn't going to turn them in. But once Abby arrived at the local Lakeland Police Department, she was arrested for the act after police said she admitted to burglary and theft.
She had. It's not her job to enforce the court order. It's the police's job. It is not your job, lady.
As a result, Arby reportedly spent 6 days in police custody before she was released on bond.
Whoops.
Lawrence Shearer, an attorney representing Arby, dismissed his client's charges in a statement to HuffPost. Frame. Theft is to deprive someone of the right or benefit of property, he said. She didn't do either one of those. She was taking them to the police department for safekeeping.
No, if she was being a nosy, naggy person and doing something that she shouldn't have done.
I have faith in our state attorney's office that they will do the right thing, he added. You link. Tweet. Link. Heading level 2.
So that's the end of that story. And I think those are all the stories Pincalo sent me. Let me check here. Oh my god. I am in a lot of pain. Oh no, we have one more, I believe. One more. So this headline says Air Canada reviewing how crew left sleeping passenger on plane. So they just left her there? Okay, let's and Air Canada is Canada's main air like our main airport. They are main not airport flight. So we've got Air Canada, we've got WestJet, we've got what else? I know we have a couple. I can only think of Air Canada and WestJet.
Air
right
Canada
now.
said Sunday it's looking into how crew members could have disembarked from a plane without noticing a sleeping passenger who was left behind. The airline was responding to an incident involving a woman who described waking up all alone on a cold, dark aircraft after a flight to Toronto earlier this month. Advertisement. I think I'm having a bad dream, BC. Like, seriously, how is this happening? I think I'm having a bad dream, BC. Like, seriously, how is this happening? Tiffany Adams recounted in a June 19th Facebook post sent by her friend, Deanna Noel Dale. The airline confirmed the incident took place, but declined to comment on its disembarking procedures or how the passenger may have been overlooked.
I'll bet it declined to comment. I'd be freaked out too if I fell asleep and then I just got, woke up and just, where the fuck is everybody? A couple
I think I'm
of,
having a bad dream, BC.
it says
The
a
airline was
couple
responding
of,
to an incident involving a woman who described waking up all alone on a cold, dark aircraft after.
on a cold, dark
I
aircraft.
think I'm having a bad. The airline confirmed the incident took place. We are still reviewing this matter, so we have no additional. We are still reviewing this matter, so we have no additional details to share. But we have followed up with the customer and remain in contact with her. Air Canada told the Associated Press. Heading level 2. Passenger was full on panicking.
No doubt.
Adams wrote that after she woke up, she called Noel Dale to try to explain what happened, but her phone died and she couldn't charge it because power to the plane was off. She said she was full on panicking by the time she found the walkie-talkie thingies in the cockpit, which also didn't work.
The walkie-talkie thingies in the cockpit, which didn't work. Oh man. So she didn't think to look, well, I guess it would be too dark to look out the windows, but I don't know. I think I'm having a bad dream. Sex. This is Mr. Misanthropic.
After no one saw the SOS signal she made by shining a flashlight out the window, she unbolted a cabin door, facing a steep drop to the tarmac. She leaned out of the aircraft and called over a ground crew employee, who got her out. You are currently...
Oh, wow. That had to be scary. I mean, I've never flown before, but that would scare the shit out of me if that happened.
The passenger wrote that Air Canada personnel asked if she was okay and whether she would like a limo and hotel, but she declined the offer. She said airline representatives apologized and said they would investigate.
I would want a limo and hotel. I'd be like, yes, I do. Absolutely. I absolutely would like a limo and a hotel. I would have found the booze, says Straight Sith Mail.
I haven't got much sleep since the recurring night terrors and waking up anxious and afraid I'm alone locked up someplace dark, she wrote. You are currently on a text.
Okay, that's a little bit over the top. I mean, yeah, it's scary, but you don't, kind of need to get over that.
The AP attempted to reach Adams through Noel Dale's Facebook account but had not received a response by late Sunday morning. Air Canada said in a Facebook response to the post that it was surprised to hear the story and very concerned, asking Adams to send a private message with her flight details.
I was surprised to hear the story. Oh dear.
We'll take a look into it, the airline wrote. Read the full Facebook.
We'll take a look into it.
Read the full Facebook post. Post D416.
Let's see if I can read it again.
Post Facebook social plugin from the Anna Noah link on Wednesday. Sharing from my friend Tiffany Adams. Another sleepless night for moi. Unfortunately, insomnia doesn't care that I work in the morn. Distraught face. You first off must say I really appreciate the day, love. Smiling face with hearts. I'm a couple days late on the thank yous and finally just catching up on FB. Honestly, it's been really difficult week and a half for me and I'm asking for help. I would really like to find out if anyone had been through this to BC 10 days later and I am still a wreck, not handling my emotions. Your dot. Link. See more.
Okay, so she's being... There's more. I can't make it go more, but... Blind Press's Abel Half has fallen asleep with Alex. Do you think she thought it was that thing where everyone goes to heaven but sinners? Maybe. Maybe.
Link. CBC's link. End of May. Popular in news.
So that's the end of that story. Oh, Jesus Christ. I may have to end and possibly do some gaming or something. I don't know. Holy fuck. Okay. This is the last story. So this headline says, North Korea says Kim received excellent letter from Trump. What does that mean?
Seoul, Korea, Republic of U.S. President Donald Trump sent North Korean leader Kim Jong-un an excellent letter, the North state-run news agency reported Sunday, quoting Kim, saying he would seriously contemplate the content.
He would seriously contemplate the content, huh? I'm making you yawn, huh? I'm sorry.
The White House press secretary, Sarah Sanders, said Trump sent a letter and correspondence between the two leaders has been ongoing. Formal talks between the U.S. and North Korea broke down after a failed summit between Kim and Trump in February in Vietnam, but earlier in June Trump told U.S. reporters he received a beautiful letter from Kim, without revealing what was written. In an interview with Time magazine last week, Trump said he also received a birthday letter from Kim that was delivered by hand a day before.
A beautiful letter and a birthday letter. Jesus Christ. That sounds like what teenage girls say when their crush writes them a letter in class. I know. It's kind of sad.
The official stances remain the same. The U.S. is demanding that North Korea abandon its nuclear weapons entirely before international sanctions are lifted. North Korea is seeking a step-by-step approach in which moves toward denuclearization are matched by concessions from the U.S., notably a relaxation of the sanctions. Pyongyang's Korean Central News Agency's report on the Trump letter said Kim said with satisfaction that the letter is of excellent content.
It's of excellent content. I see. Yes, we did. We did know that.
Appreciating the political judging faculty and extraordinary courage of President Trump, Kim Jong-un said that he would seriously contemplate the interesting content, the agency said, without elaborating.
The interesting content, of course. How long until North Korea helped Trump win conspiracy theory? I don't know, but I would that would be an interesting one.
South Korea's presidential office said it sees the exchange of letters between Kim and Trump as a positive development for keeping the momentum for dialogue alive. News of Trump's letter came days after Kim's summit with visiting Chinese President Xi Jinping, which experts say underscored China's importance in the diplomatic push to resolve the nuclear standoff with the North. Current North Korean state media said Kim and Xi discussed the political situation surrounding the Korean peninsula and reached unspecified consensus on important issues.
Hmm. That's always a good thing. If it's true. Which, you know, you can always take this stuff with a grain of salt.
She is expected to meet with Trump next week in Japan during the G20 summit. Analysts say he could pass him a message from Kim about the nuclear negotiations. Kim said during his New Year's speech said he would seek a new way if the United States persists with sanctions and pressure against North Korea. After the collapse of his meeting with Trump in Hanoi, Kim said Washington has until the end of the year to offer mutually acceptable terms for a deal to salvage the negotiations. Following a provocative run in weapons tests, Kim initiated negotiations with Seoul and Washington in 2018, which led to 3 summits with South Korea's president and his first with Trump in Singapore on June 12, 2018. Kim and Trump issued a vague statement at that summit saying they would work toward a nuclear-free Korean peninsula without describing how.
Yeah, that was the vaguest statement ever.
The lack of substance and fruitless working-level talks set up the breakdown of Kim's second meeting with Trump, which the Americans blamed on excessive North Korean demands for sanctions relief in exchange for only a partial surrender of its nuclear capabilities. Nuclear negotiations have been at a standstill since. Trump and Kim also exchanged letters in 2018 after their first summit. Sanders said at the time that the letters addressed their commitment to work toward North Korea's complete denuclearization. In September 2018, Trump told a cheering crowd at a campaign rally in West Virginia that Kim wrote me beautiful letters and they're great letters. We fell in love. You are currently on a text element. Analysts say the gesture of sending letters is part of North Korean efforts to present Kim as a legitimate international statesman who is reasonable and capable of negotiating solutions and making deals. Because of the weight of formality they provide, Kim might see personal letters as an important way to communicate with leaders of countries the North never had close ties with, they say.
I suppose that's a theory.
Advertisement link. Read the original version. Use of this website assumes a link.
Oh, that's the end of that article. Um. So yeah, uh, Trump and Kim are writing letters to each other like school, high school crushes. It's kind of sad, but I suppose it's better than throwing bombs at each other. So, I mean, take the good with the bad, I guess. um, let's see. I predict 23 months before Trump helped or North Korea helped Trump when conspiracy theory becomes a thing. 23 months, huh? Oh, let's see here. Well, guys, I do not have any more stories for you at the moment, and I am in a fuck ton of pain. Like, I mean, a shit ton of pain. So I'm probably just gonna go play some games and relax. Um, I don't know if I'm gonna stream it or not. I may not. If I do stream, I doubt there'll be commentary because my throat's gone to shit. But we'll see. Um, I hope you guys enjoyed what I gave you tonight. Cognitive Thought will be joining me tomorrow. We're gonna do a special guest day tomorrow on Monday, and Friday is call-in day. And we will hopefully be able to do a full 2 hours this time. And I hope everyone will enjoy all of those fun things that I have planned for you. On that note, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to all the new people who subbed. Hello, Pop and Yop, Pop and Hop. I hope you enjoy the replay. Thank you, Mr. Misanthropic. I hope I feel better too. I do thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see everybody tomorrow at noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 5 p.m. GMT. Have a great night, you guys. Go check out Minions of the Zoo if you're not busy. They're live in about 15 minutes.